Hi, now I'm going to talk about innovation at Heinz. Heinz is an American company founded in 1869. Heinz evolved since they adopted the new innovative culture. Their work culture has totally changed the way of creating, producing, and operating, in which workers acquire more responsibility and confidence to give ideas, innovate through a dynamic culture that enforces teamwork, constant learning, and failure as a fundamental part to be able to learn and improve constantly. Normally, the traditional structure culture employees only follows rules, and they don't have voice and a capability to change things. But in the new culture, they are more than employees, and they are partners that help to grow as a whole company. This was not easy. Normally, there are a lot of barriers that hinder a real change, and these were not only in Heinz. There are barriers that you can find in all companies and all countries and all cities, because especially in the classical production company that are more aware of the product rather than the stakeholders as customers, employees, environment, and all type of things. So these barriers are the hierarchical structure. Normally, they doesn't allow flow of information because information is restricted for everyone. Employees just follow orders, as I already said. And achieve a change is almost impossible with this kind of structure because if the top pyramid of the hierarchy or the shareholders doesn't uh, create or set that change, this is not going to happen because they have all the control and all the idea that they are the only ones that can make real things. The other barrier are not giving enough importance, responsibility, freedom to the employees, and also the voice, uh, not giving voice in the company to set and criticize and trying to make things better. And this is critical because if the people and employees are not involved in the real process of producing or doing whatever they did do in the company, changes are not going to happen. Something innovative is not going to happen. The other one is the pressure not to make or pressure of success or pressure not to make mistakes because normally employees are aware of doing things or doing something new, something that they are not able because probably they're going to have there is going to be a punish, and people are not going to risk their jobs. But if there is a culture that enhances that participation and enhances that people need to set what they think, probably there are going to be a lot of change and a lot of things to improve. The other one is living aside the customer. Normally, the production companies, as I already said, are more focused on the product rather than the customer. So they are not really aware of how the customer is and how they change in the time. As you know, people is changing so fast, and the things that probably like before are not the one that is going to like now. Um, the other one is that normally a lot of companies only works for short and middle term targets, leaving aside strategies to have as in theory knows that we big wins, something that is going to be disruptive and something that is going to change how the people uh, do things. So, for example, if you don't risk now something that probably is going to affect in the short term, uh, be sure that in the long term you're not going to have big incomes that is going to position it you in the leader of the market. Uh, and finally, one of the big barriers are not be prepared mentally to change, because probably you know as a manager that it's important to have change, but if you are not prepared, if your employees are not prepared, uh, even though you implement a change, but the people are not prepared for that, it's going to be very difficult to 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 change, to do things differently, because people are used to uh, make the same things always. So one important aspect in Heinz and a lot of companies in the market is to set goals of innovation and put limits in time and quantities of big ideas. This allows the company to be sure that employees are taking the assignment seriously and have certain control of the innovation process. Also, this allows to create more and better ideas due to employees can create and make mistakes in the process, but they have to learn quickly and do it better to achieve the proposed goals. With the idea that in the future you are going to grow exponential with constant innovation and quality to be leaders in the sector or in the market, because you are setting goals that you need to create something new uh, every month, every 2 months, or every year. So this is going to allow that be ahead of the competitors, because you are changing very fast. Measure versus madness. Measure is related with order, rigorous, predictable, safe. This is important in a company, but if you only stay with those kind of things, probably you are going to receive low incomes because you are not risky and you are not doing things differently. But if you combine this measure with madness, that normally is disruptive, creative, unpredictable, and probably always is going to be risky, but if you want to be in the future one of the best companies in your sector, and you really want to generate impact, um, it's necessary to in the future have big wins. Mm, this is known as a step change. Step change is a sudden or major change in the way that something happens or the way that someone behaves. So, for example, Google. Normally, in the past, people, if they have to search something or know about something, they need to go to the libraries and read a book. But if you right now need to learn about something, you go to Google and search things. The same way of Uber. Traditionally, you use taxis to transport in the city, but Uber found a lot of insights of the people that they are not happy with that service. So we transport with Uber in the cities, or Airbnb. They are people used to stay in hotels and reserves and pay a lot of uh, overrated rooms with high prices. But now everyone is going. is looking for a room in Airbnb because it's better, the service is better, it's cheaper, and all these type of in companies like Uber and Airbnb, they don't have possess of any of the or a car or a hotel, but they connect people, and this is a big step change. Uh, for example, Mercado Libre changed this culture to an innovative culture in which every employee matters and every employee is able to change and create something new. Uh, mm, mm, es por esto que is the world greatest place to work, actually in Colombia. So this is an example of how uh, enhance the people and the employees and doing things differently. You can be a good and a company that are doing things bigger and better than the others. Uh, uh, Finally, the best learning about that what Heinz did is that no matter what is the core business of your company, there is a lot of things that you can change, create, innovate, and improve to develop better products, services, or processes. No matter the high risk, the investments that you need to do, the time that it's going to take. In the future, there is not be anything external or internal that is going to affect you in your company because you will always ahead and changing with the environment, something that most of enterprises can't do. Thank you.